Hello everybody and welcome back to What the F Are We Eating Now? Tonight we're making our ultimate Italian style pizza from scratch. Stick around and we'll show you how we do it. Alright, and to make our dough, we have a cup of warm water between the temperature of 105 and 110. It's still a little warm, so while it's cooling off, I will walk you through these other ingredients that are going into our dough today. We have a teaspoon of sugar. We have 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, or one package. It's equivalent. 2 tablespoons of oil. 1 teaspoon of salt. And dried Italian seasoning, 1.5 cup. 1.5 teaspoon. And to all of this, we'll have 2.5 cups of flour. Now I pulled the half out because we may or may not need that much flour. Oh, and it's bread flour. All right, so we'll begin with our cup of water, warm water, between the temperature of 105 and 110. To that, we're going to add our sugar and give it a stir. Stir that up till it almost dissolves. Then I'm going to add the yeast, and I'm just going to sprinkle it in. And we're going to give that about 5 to 10 minutes to start getting frothy and foamy. So this will be our base for our beautiful dough. All right, and as you can see, the yeast has activated and it is nice and bloomed. So we're going to add our dough hook here. Okay. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of oil, my teaspoon of salt, and my dried Italian seasoning, which is 1 1/4 teaspoon. All right, now I'm going to drop my dough hook down all the way, and I'm going to get this started on low speed, and I'm going to start adding my flour. And I'm going to add a little bit at a time and let it try to do its thing. It's got to catch all that. I'm going to turn it up just a hair. And as you can see, it's starting to mix inside. And I'll get my spatula here in a second, and I will scrape down my sides. Gosh, it smells so good right now. It smells like fresh bread. We're just going to let this knead for about 5 to 7 minutes. And we'll come back and take a look and see where it goes. All right, and if you can see, my dough's pretty sticky. So that remaining half cup, I'm going to add a little bit of flour in here, like a teaspoon at a time. As you can see now, this is what we want. We want it up off of the bottom of the bowl and wrapping itself around the hook. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And I'll meet you at the table here. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and raise this up. While it's just hanging there, I'm going to get a little bit of flour on my fingers. Not much, because we're not going to need it at the moment. It's been kneading all this time. I try to keep my board clean. Yeah, it's sticky, but not overly sticky, so that's good. I just wanted to put some flour on my hands so that way I can get it off of this. Let me get the hook off. Go ahead and pull this out. It is a bit on the sticky side, which is fine. Okay, and my bowl, let me get that here. It's pretty much out of that bowl here. So I'm going to spray the bottom of this bowl with some Pam and the sides. And let me put this back in here. It is pretty sticky. So I'm just going to fold it over itself the best I can. Okay, and I'm going to set it back in this bowl. Hold on just a second. Okay, now it's in my bowl like so. I'm going to try to tuck the bottom in now that I got some oil on my hands. Let me see if I can just pull it out and do it. Because I kind of want to just make a ball with it. Okay, and now I'm going to place it in the bottom of the bowl like this. And I'm going to take my towel, I'm going to cover it up, and I'm going to let it set over here on the counter for 45 to 60 minutes until it doubles in size. All right, so we're going to start on our vegetables that we're going to put on top of our pizza. So I'm going to cut this onion in half, and I'm literally just going to slice it. Let me cut the end off here, and we're going to tear it apart because we're going to layer these on. So we're just going to take it and we're just going to kind of break them apart like this. This is a small onion, which is fine. I'll just tear them apart, put them in this bowl. And then we're going to slice up our jalapeños. And we're putting fresh jalapeños on. So let's just tear this apart. This one here can go too. It's okay if they're chunky, but you can dice them if you'd like. Oh, I'm starting to cry already. Oh no. You can dice them if you'd like. But I like them chunky and able to, you know, I like these little curly things like this. So we're just going to put them in here, and we can break them up more as we go and as we're decorating our pizza. Wow, those things are potent. Ooh, really strong. All right, so now we're going to cut up our jalapeno. I'm just going to cut the tail off here. And I want to do little circles, little slices. I'm leaving the seeds in because I want the heat. Okay, go ahead and put these in here. And when you're playing with jalapenos, don't rub your eyes. Don't do it. Don't do it at all. Don't rub your nose, your eyes, because it will like start making your fingers sting after a while. So after this, I am definitely washing my hands. The oils, they get into your skin and they just start, you can touch your nose and it's on fire. So let me go ahead and get these done. Almost done here. All right, so let's put these in our bowl, and those will be added to our toppings list. Also, I do have a can of drained sliced olives, and that's also going to go on to our pizza. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm at the stove here under about medium heat. I want to heat that up. I'm going to take about 6 slices of bacon. I'm going to add bacon to the pizza topping. So I'm just going to slice up six pieces of bacon. I'm going to get it crisp so we can put that on top of the pizza. It should fall apart, be nice and crispy. Add that to a pan. Tell me, what toppings do you like on your pizzas? Do you guys add bacon, or do you add ham, pineapple? And does pineapple even belong on a pizza? I think everything belongs on a pizza. But write down in the comments, let us know. I'd like to hear your ideas and suggestions. And do you cook your bacon first, or do you just cook it on top of your pizza? Or would you cook the meats first, or would you put those on top of the pizza raw so that way they could cook inside the oven? Let me know in the comments. I'm just gonna give these a little stir here. Maybe turn the heat up just a little bit more. Let's get that stuff to cook down and crisp up. All right, so we're still cooking the bacon, so just trying to get it all to brown up and get crispy. We can put it on our pizza. It's got a few minutes to go. Spread it out a little bit so it can get a little more even. And we'll come right back. Okay, I went ahead and pulled this all off to the side. It's pretty crispy. I'm going to transfer that to a paper towel lined bowl so it can catch the grease off of it. I turn the flame off of the stove. All right, and now we're just still waiting for the dough to rise. Guys, we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and put the ground beef in here. We're gonna add ground beef and ground Italian sausage to our pizza. So I'll do a half and half, I think. We'll do this one, which is the ground beef, and then I'll put my ground pork right next to it. And we'll just cook them up together. So that way the ground beef gets the flavor from the pork and the sausage. It's not just pork, it's sausage. Guys, so we've got the ground beef and the Italian sausage browned up here. It's not completely fully cooked. We're gonna cook it the rest of the way in the oven on top of the pizza. I'm gonna put a lid on it, turn the flame off, and I'm going to get me a towel and some pot holders, sorry, so I can grab this. Sorry, kicked it. I want to drain the grease off of it, so that way that doesn't go into the pizza and make our dough soggy. So I'm just going to drain all this off. Okay, so we're going to set this meat aside for after the pizza dough has risen and we press out our dough, and then we'll use this to top onto our pizza. All right, so I'm going to transfer this to a bowl and set it aside. We went ahead and drained it already, sorry. It's a heavy skillet. All right, we're going to set this aside and let it cool down a little bit, so that way whenever we go to top the pizza I can just put my hands in and put it on the pizza. All right, guys, let's check out the dough. Oh yeah, she's risen. So we're good here. Let's go ahead and get some flour. Let's get stuff set up here so we can get this dough out and turned out onto the table. All right, so we're gonna get some flour out here on the table. I need more than that for sure. You see, it's risen pretty good. We're going to go ahead and turn this out onto the table. So as we punch it down a little, let's get it out. Go ahead and get it out here to the table. Let's form it into a ball here. Get this out of the way. With our hands, we're going to press it out to a circle. Flip it over here. Make sure we get enough flour around it because it's a tacky kind of dough. I'm gonna flour my pen and I'm gonna roll it out. Actually, I think our hands are better, so let's try with our hands. Yeah, I think our hands are a better deal. I'm just gonna turn it until it becomes a circle. I'm pulling the dough a little bit. We flip it over. You can see all those herbs in there. It smells so good. And while we're doing this, I want to ask some questions. Do you guys put anything in your dough, or do you have an idea of something to put in your dough? I mean, give me some suggestions that you would use and write them in the comments because I'd like to hear what you guys do. Yeah, this is coming out pretty good. This dough has got such a good smell to it. It smells like fresh bread. It's amazing. Go ahead and pick it up, turn it over. All right, let's get our pan and we'll start to put this on the pan. Before we put this on the pan, I want to go over to the stove here, to my oven, and I want to bake. I want to set it to 475. It's going down. I was supposed to go up. 475, and we'll preheat the oven. Okay, and that should give us enough time to put our pizza on the pan. Right, now that it's on the pan, I'm going to stretch the sides over because I want to stuff this crust. Stretch them over all the way around. But as I'm moving it, I'm tucking it on one side, so I need to make sure I get that pulled off. Okay. Okay. My pan line is here, and my sauce line is here, so I'm gonna line right here with cheese. Pick up my cheese, and I'm just gonna put this right here on, just around the border here, because that crust that's hanging over is gonna come over the top, and it's gonna make a nice little spot for all of our sauce to stay. And we'll keep it from spilling over. Go ahead and finish this up real quick. This is like the fun part, I think, is building it. All the other stuff's work. This is building it. This is actually so much fun. All right, so let me get a little bit more cheese here. I want to try to get as even as I can, if I can. Some mozzarella. All right, so then I'm going to take this and I'm going to tuck it over. I'm going to pull it over the cheese and make like a little pocket. I'll show you in a minute how we get it all to stay. So I'm going to tuck this over, tuck this over, turn my pan. I'm getting it caught underneath my pan. It's going to look goofy. You'll have to mess with it until you get it to complete the circle here. Okay, so now that we have it, we're going to push the cheese under. And we're just gonna kind of just pinch it down. Once we get the cheese in there, we'll pinch it down all the way around. Now the sauce is gonna go here, so that's gonna catch that. So, but it should be pretty easy once we get it tucked in. It's looking like a steering wheel. Okay. Ooh, got stuck to my hand. It's a pretty tacky dough, which is fine as long as we can work with it. And if you need to, you can always like dip your hands in some flour and then use the floured fingers in order to work with the dough. All right, once that's done, we're gonna pull the dough to the edge of the pan. Sorry. Okay, this here. I'm gonna end up with a bubble if we have too much here. Just want to try to seal it in the best we can. Okay. It's looking mighty fine. Not too bad. Now we're going to put some sauce in here. Okay, so we're going to put some sauce here in the center. And we're we're just going to take the spoon and we're just going to go right around to the edge. I'm going to put a little bit more sauce in here. Alrighty, and what I like to do is I like to take my Parmesan, and I like to sprinkle Parmesan on the bottom. And then we cheese it. Some Parmesan cheese here. Sorry, mozzarella cheese. Ah, we already did the Parmesan. So mozzarella everywhere. Let's take that apart. Try to get that as even as possible. And we're going to start putting our toppings on. Okay. We'll start with, let's see, we got our vegetables here. I have onions, I have olives, I have the meats and the bacon, and I have the cheese, and I need to get my pepperonis out of the fridge. Let's get these open. All right, so let's get started. Let's see what we want to attack first. Let's put some meats down. So this will be the combination of ground beef and Italian sausage. I'm just going to distribute that as even as we can. We're going to put a little bit of bacon in there. We'll start with our jalapeños. And our onions. Told you we'll be pulling these apart as we're putting them on, so that way we can distribute them better. Okay, and then we'll do our pepperonis. Actually, I want to put more cheese on. So let's put more cheese on there. It's not cheesy enough. Put cheese over all of it, and then we'll add our pepperonis. And you can build your pizza whichever way you want. That's the good thing and the best thing about pizza is you can have it your way, no matter how you like your toppings, what toppings you like. And then speaking of toppings, what are your favorite toppings? Maybe put them in the comments down there so I can see them. And if there's something on this pizza that you don't particularly like or I'm missing, please let me know, because that would be nice to know for next time when we build a pizza. Let's do more meat. So we'll do our Italian sausage and ground beef. Maybe a little more bacon. And olives. Olives are good. I love olives. Try to get them even if I can. And I'm going to put more cheese on top. And do you like lots of cheese or not a whole lot of cheese? I'm a cheese person. I love cheese. Cheese is my favorite. Probably will turn into a piece of cheese with all the cheese that I eat. I eat so much cheese. I love it. All right. So would you stop here or would you add more? Because I'm going to add more actually. I'm going to put some more pepperonis on top. Because I like my pizza loaded. And then I'll put the rest of this cheese on top of that because I want it to melt. All right, so let me clean this up. I'll be right back and I'll show you what we're gonna do with the crust. So I heated up some butter here and I'm gonna get some garlic powder and I'm gonna put some garlic powder inside because we're gonna brush the dough with the garlic powder, the crust. So I'm gonna put some garlic powder in there. Let me get my brush. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this in. And we're just gonna brush all that yummy buttery goodness around this entire pizza. Let me know if you like garlic butter. I love garlic butter. I like garlic. I like food. Yes, but flavors, that's what we like. Then we actually added a whole lot more to this pizza because we really we like flavor, especially jalapeños. We love that. All right, so I brushed it with garlic butter and I'm gonna take some Parmesan and I'm gonna just sprinkle it over that garlic butter. Heck, I think I'll just sprinkle it over the whole thing. Let's do it. This is the before shot. And then we'll show you the after shot when it comes out of the oven. Okay, so I'm going to put this pan underneath it on the last of the bottom rack just to catch anything in case this overflows. I'd rather it hit that pan than hit the bottom of my oven. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this inside the oven. And remember, the oven is at 475. And we're going to leave this in here for about 15 to 18 minutes. All right, guys, we're back. Let me go ahead and get this out of the oven. Oh, yeah, she looks good. Looks really good. Let's go ahead and set it up here. Had a little seepage there, but it's looking pretty good. Wow, it smells amazing. Guys, we're back. We're gonna let this cool off and then we'll come back. All right, guys, we're back and we're gonna cut this and then we're going in for the taste test. I already know it's gonna be amazing. Oh boy. All right, here we go. Oh, it's got heat. Woo. Oh yeah. Great sauce flavor. The bacon. I could taste that right away. It's delicious. The crust, stuffed. It's amazing. Yeah, this is what the F we're eating now. I'm gonna take another bite. Still a little warm in the middle. Well, I don't want to be rude and eat in front of you, but as always, the recipe is in the description. And drop us a comment also. Let us know what you want us to make next or you'd like to see us make next. Because right now, we're going to be smoking, grilling, air frying, baking. The possibilities are endless. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. Check out our videos. There's a lot to see and there's a lot more on the way. Until then, have a good night.